Alright guys, so tonight we are learning our third method. I'm already on page 9. We're going to skip a few pages to page 9 of our packets, our notes packets. And I'm going to show you what is my favorite method, and a lot of people like the best. It's called the elimination method. So remember, we've done graphing, we've done substitution, now we're doing elimination. So this is one more thing that we can learn. So our goal, I want you to write this down, is to look for a variable. When I say variable, I'm talking about x or y that we can eliminate or cancel. So here's what we do first. Find variable that cancels. Alright, so here's what I mean. So I want you to think of these two equations, this system of equations, as something, we're doing some addition today. So addition is yay, it's our friend. If we were to add these x's, I would get 2x's. And these y's, since one's a negative and one's a positive, one cancels. They cancel, they would be 0. And then this 5 plus negative 3 would be negative 2. Okay? So you're looking for a variable to eliminate, to cancel. It cancels out. So here we have a negative y and a positive y. So circle those. Those cancel. We can eliminate those, okay, because we're adding them up in the elimination method. So now we just line them up and add them up. We have 1x and another x, so that's 2x. And then these canceled, so no y, equals negative 5 and a positive 3 is a negative 2. So 2x equals negative 2. Divide by 2 to get that 2 off the x. And you get x equals negative 1. Alright, so then our second one was we added up our system. Solve for remaining variable. In this case it was x. Okay, and then there's one more thing we have to do, one more step. We're going to take this x equals 1. Oh, so now we know this part. We know the x part, negative 1 of our answer. We're going to take the x equals negative 1 and we're going to substitute it, we're going to plug it back into the top fraction. Top equation, not fraction, sorry. And solve for missing variable. Okay, so when you take the x equals negative 1 and you plug it back into here, we have to plug it in where there's an x, so it's negative 1 minus y equals negative 5. So we're trying to solve for y here. So let's add 1 to both sides to get this negative 1 off. So that equals negative 4. And then we have to divide by negative 1 to get that negative off the y. So your y equals 4. So your answer is negative 1, 4. Remember, you have to get it in a coordinate pair. So let's go down. Let's go to number 2. Alright, so we're trying to find a variable that cancels. And here we have this one that cancels. So a positive 2x and a negative 2x, those cancel. So now we have 1y, we're going to add these up. 1y, that's 2y's, equals a negative 8 and a positive 4 is negative 4. Divide by 2, you get y equals negative 2. So now we know the y of our equation, of our coordinate pair. Plug that y back into the top equation. So negative 2 equals 2x minus 8. Got to plug it in for the y because that's what it is. So now we're trying to get the x by itself. We're going to add 8 to both sides. So that's 6 equals 2x divided by 2, and you get x equals 3. So 3 is our other part of our coordinate pair. Alright, so I do want to show you one, there's a special case. Okay, so what if you go to do elimination and you find that you can't cancel out any variables. So this plus this is going to equal 3x. 1y and 2y's is, 1y and another y is 2y. So one of these has to be negative, right, for these y's to cancel. So what we're going to do is we have to distribute a negative sign into this equation at the top. We have to distribute it so that this would make this negative. So when you distribute a negative sign, you just change the signs of everything. So this becomes negative, this is negative, and this is negative. Okay, and then look, now you have a negative y and a positive y. Because you only do it to that one equation, but you have to do it to everything in that top equation. Now these cancel, and you have a negative x and a 2x, and that equals 1x. Your y's cancel, and a negative 4 and a positive 6 make a 2. So x equals 2. So we're going to take that and plug it back into we can plug it back into this equation, the second one. It doesn't have to be the top one. It can be either one. I just usually do the top one. But since we manipulated that top one, let's just plug it into the second one. So 2 times 2 plus y equals 6. So we have 4 plus y equals 6. So we're going to subtract 4 from both sides to get that 4 to the other side. And we end up with y equals 2. So it's 2, 2. And remember, you can always check yourself by plugging 2 in for x and 2 in for y and seeing if it checks out. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 2 is 6. Check. Let's do one more down here. So we can see here that we don't have anything that cancels, all right? And it's not like we can just distribute a negative sign in here, because if we did that, it would just be a negative x and a 5x. That's not going to cancel. So we have to figure out what can we multiply the top by so that it will cancel with the bottom. Let's go with the 5x. How can we cancel out the 5x? We'd have to multiply everything on the top by a negative 5, right? Because if you do that, this becomes negative 5x. This becomes a negative 5 times 2, which is negative 10y. And then negative 5 times 1 equals negative 5. So I'm just going to rewrite this second part. And now we can add them up because these will cancel. A negative 5x and a positive 5x cancels. So now we have negative 10 plus a negative 4 is negative 14y. And then negative 5 plus a negative 23 is a negative 28. Let's divide by negative 14. And we get y equals 2. Positive 2. A negative negative cancels. So y equals 2. So now we know the y part of our answer. We're going to plug this y into the one that we did not manipulate. Okay, that's the second one. So 5x minus 4 times 2 equals negative 23. So 5x minus 8 equals negative 23. We're going to add 8 to both sides. You get 5x equals negative 15. And then you want to divide that 5 off. And you get x equals negative 3. Negative 3 and 2 is your answer. All right, so that's the elimination method. A lot of people really like that, especially if they can see that something's going to cancel at the beginning. So now you know those 3 methods, and you can decide which one you like the best. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.